Hi, this is Mike Taylor from Web-Based Recruitment. I'm delighted to be joined today by Bill Boorman.
Hi,
Bill,
Mike.
good to see you again. You spoke at the first Social Media in Recruitment conference back in July 2009.
Yeah.
Seemed light years ago. So tell us what you've been up to since then, and tell us what you're going to be talking about.
Yeah, well, I remember the event very well. I was in a suit. You know,
Exactly.
I think I was the one in the suit and tie on
Yes.
that particular day out of other people. And I think it was an interesting time in terms of big starts of a lot of things. And the last time I spoke, it was very much about what we thought was going to be possible. Whereas, you know, obviously 4 years on, I've been involved in work with Oracle, with the BBC, with Hard Rock Cafe, and a number of other brands as well as product companies. It's now much more, and with the true events, True London obviously being the local one, but we're having about 100 events this year. So we're constantly hearing about good, solid, real case studies. So what I want to bring two things really to the event. One is to talk about, if you imagine it in three parts. One is where we came from. I mean, I remember at the first event, I just announced that I just achieved my 3,000th follower on Twitter, and everyone was kind of, wow, you got 3,000 followers, and it's now about 14,000 followers. So I had about 400 LinkedIn connections, I suppose, back in the day. I've now got about 7,000. I didn't even have a Facebook account because I couldn't see the point of it when I spoke at the last event, and I think I made that point quite clear. Whereas now, Facebook plays a central part in everything I do, and we've really seen it evolve as a recruiting channel. So I'm going to talk about where we've come from. I'm going to talk about the middle bit, which is where we are now. This is what I'm seeing. This is what, and much wider than the channels, I want to talk a little bit about some of the thinking behind the tools, technology, data mining, and so on. And then where I see social really going in 3 years' time, in a year's time. You know, where I see you going as an event in particular is, you know, by the time we get around to 2020, I hope you'll still be running events, Mike. I hope I'll still be alive in those days, and you'll still be running events, but it won't be called a social recruiting event. It'll just be called a recruiting event.
Yes, yeah.
Because social will be the natural one, and I think we're getting there. It's the, you know, I don't. It's inconceivable now, even if we compare to 4 years ago, that you would talk to someone who's a recruiter who doesn't have at least a free LinkedIn profile, who doesn't do a bit of Twitter, who doesn't do a bit of Facebook. So we're going to talk about where we might go and what might happen next in a global context. So I'm really looking forward to coming to the event. I'm really excited about some of the things that are going on around actually making data useful and meaningful.
Right.
So I'm going to be showing some of that, some real examples of saying this is how data's being used and this is what you can do from a recruiting point of view. I think in particular the work of Sears in the States and AMS in turning recruiting into a data centre and using social data to help build profiles is a really interesting area in terms of where business can go. So we'll be talking about a lot about that, and a bit of mobile, a bit about mobility and how job seekers are changing. So one thing I do know is it's one of the events I look for every year. I think it's going to be a great event, Mike.
Good. Well, we look forward to seeing you again, and be nice to see what happens.
See you there.
See you there.
See you
Thanks
there.
for your time.
Without a suit.
Yes.
And in a hat.
Cheers.
Cheers.